Well, folks, we had the first presidential debate, and I think the election roller coaster is just getting started. Let's take a look today on the weekly update.
Okay, friends, let's talk the debate and the market. Here's what you need to know. First up, well, the election roller coaster is taking another turn, and this time it's Biden's turn. So last week we had the presidential debate, and I thought it was a fine debate. It was, certainly the decorum was a little bit better than the last time we did this. However, Biden had a pretty rough night. This was his chance to really show that he's with it, capable candidate for presidency, and he had a pretty rough night. So he did not beat any of that speculation about, potentially him being too old or, without the mental capacity to be president. What I think is interesting, though, is the very next night he held a rally and he was with it. He was together, almost exactly like how he was during the State of the Union. So it was a pretty big night for both candidates, and I think Biden would take a do-over if he could. However, since he doesn't have a do-over, there's a lot of things that's happened both in the market as well as betting odds for who the Democratic candidate is going to be. This is the Real Clear Politics betting average. This is 2024 U.S. president. And as of right now, when I am speaking, this is Wednesday afternoon, actually Kamala Harris is polling at a higher rate than Joe Biden. So, if you were to take just betting odds at face value, they would tell you that Biden is not going to be the nominee. I find that very interesting. As you can see, basically Trump had a good night post-debate, very clear that he's going to be the nominee. But what is so interesting is what's happening on the Democratic side of things. New York Times reporting this afternoon, Biden told an ally he is weighing whether to continue in the race. Now, this is a pretty big shocker, but if you've been following the channel, you know that I have talked about both candidates, both Trump and Biden, with an asterisk of, we'll see if they're actually going to be the candidates that show up on Election Day. For my take on all of this, you want to be careful with betting odds. These markets are very small. There's not a whole lot of liquidity in them, and it's really just kind of like a speculative market. In much the same way that Biden's fate was able to rapidly change in just about a week, it could absolutely rapidly change once again. But clearly the zeitgeist and what's being talked about right now is Biden the guy? Is he going to be the candidate? So what does this all mean if you look at the debate and the market? Well, the first presidential debate has caused a dramatic repricing of the 2024 election. And this is one of the things that I warned about, seeing how certain stocks were moving based upon, who the presumptive candidates were. Right now, what I would call quote unquote Biden stocks are currently feeling some pressure. That's everything from cannabis to solar to renewables. They're feeling some pain. And moreover, the Trump stocks are now seeing a little bit of a renaissance, which I would consider things like security, military contractors, oil stocks, etc. We're seeing this dramatic repricing that's happening in the market in response to what's happening in the election season. In times like this, however, I think it's important to focus on what is true and provable and not rumor or speculation. There's a whole lot of speculation coming out right now about will Biden run or won't he? He's running. Whether he's going to be the candidate or not, I guess, is what needs to be decided. I'm not weighing too much into it. The rumor mill happens all the time. I could definitely see a path where he's not the candidate, but I just want to reserve judgment until that happens. So we want to focus on what's provable and true, right? And so at least for right now, we've got two candidates. We'll see if they show up on the ballot in Election Day. And I'm not surprised by any of this. Here's my take on what's going on in the news cycle and in the markets. This is normal election season market action. We've been talking about it being a roller coaster for a little bit of time now. Just like with Trump's sentencing and being, found guilty, there was a roller coaster there. Now it's Biden's turn on the roller coaster. Normal election stuff. I'm not reading too much into it, but I am on watch for maybe some dramatic changes this election season. So there you go. That's the debate and the markets. Big impacts in a short amount of time. And none of this is economic. It's almost entirely news-driven and election-driven. Such is an election year. I'll see you this weekend for the markets review. Take care. Okay, friends, that was the video. Hope you liked it. If you found it informative, good, entertaining, I'd love if you could scroll down here beneath the video Give me a like there. It helps us out with the algorithm. And then if you want to be notified first of anything new that we upload to the channel, if you come over here, click subscribe, you'll be the first to know as soon as we upload anything. Appreciate it. See you soon.